It's no secret that I, along with the Hoover family, lawyers, and friends, are fighting hard for Larry Hoover's freedom that the First Step Act law says he deserves. Meanwhile, this dude Wack and Karen Chapman has taken a position to work against the Hoover family by trying to monetize off his name and withhold footage that could contribute to his freedom. So if it's one thing this Wack dude is telling the truth about, is that I don't fuck with him. When I was in LA talking to this lying ass nigga, never once did he take the position he was partners in the theft of the Hoover families like he's doing on that rehearsed conversation with them clowns. Now, what he is not telling the truth about is why. So listen up. There's a woman by the name of Karen Chapman that was entrusted by the Hoover family to interview Larry Hoover with the understanding of bringing the interview back to the family. She decided to run off with the interview and a fake fraud contract claiming Larry Hoover signed all his rights away for nothing. Larry Hoover is far from being a dummy, so for Wack and Karen to be taking a position on disrespecting the Hoover family by attempting to sell Larry Hoover's likeness without the family permission is a mistake for whomever considering buying it. I've been around a long time and I know when someone is trying to set me up with police conversations. So I won't lip wrestle with you cake ass niggas on Clubhouse. But I tell you what, I don't know if you were violated on the block or what, but all that snake jealousy and hate shit you have in your heart, niggas, bring that shit to Dr. Prince, and I'm gonna cure you of that disease. Let me say this to the homies in LA and around the world. All money is not good money. And a nigga that would kiss a rat in the mouth for any amount of money is capable of anything, like sending you on a suicide mission to laugh at you. Read the wisdom between the lines and don't follow this clown off a cliff.
Salute, salute, salute. Let me get settled in here. Let me get settled, people. Salute. What's up? All right, man. I had to get in on this topic right here because this actually this actually plays right into my growing up. You know what I mean? My lifestyle that I was raised in Chicago. Excuse me. All right, man. First off, man, Wack bogus, man. You know, he's straight up out of line, and he know for a fact he really don't want to. He really don't want to be in a situation with Jay Prince or Larry Hoover. And what people need to understand is Jay Prince has been in Larry Hoover's corner for decades. So for Wack to put out this false false moniker like Jay Prince is trying to get his hands on this on these on these on this material to monetize off of it is totally bogus. You know, Jay Prince has been helping the Hoover family top to bottom for decades. And man, people need to understand that Wack only doing shit right now. Anything he can do to keep his name alive on this fucking internet because that's the popular way and the money way to go right now. That's what he's willing to do. But you stepping yourself into an arena that could really play against you like on some serious shit. Cause Jay Prince is you not on that brother's level, man. So stop pretending like you is. They the mob, and that's just what it is. And they got the real growth and development riding with them. That's just a fact. So it's like, man, the problem is people have taken it for granted that if you look around the country right now, GDs is all over different cities that they were never involved in, that they never was attached to, like New York. Atlanta's real heavy with it. You know what I mean? All down south. And with that being said, the organization is not as structured as it used to be. The organization is not as loyal as it used to be. The organization is not as dedicated as it used to be. And I'm here to say, man, I was raised as a GD, a gangster disciple. Period, point blank. I'm a second generation gangster disciple. I'm not affiliated as of today. I'm not representing as of today, but my lineage comes from gangster disciples and grew into growth and development. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not mad about it. I'm not sad about it. I'm not man. I stood firm on it, and I stand tall on anything I've done or anything I've said. Man, it's just what it is, you know. But it's like now you have these different cities that's representing, well, just claiming organizations, but they don't have the structure that the organization was founded on. So it's like it's a lot of renegade gang banging. I hear a lot of people. I've had people on YouTube say I'm not a real GD because I don't get on here talking about kill, 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 murder, murder, murder. That ain't what the fuck this shit was about. So people need to understand, like, you got a lot of renegade young boys claiming certain organizations now, so that waters it down, and you'll have situations like this. Because Wack know for a fact, before these 2000s and shit, he would have never stepped foot towards J Prince, and he'd have never stepped foot in no shit like he disrespected the chief, because his ass would have been violated immediately, and he know that. What people need to understand is GDs was the strongest street entity in this country for decades. And I repeat that. GDs was the strongest street entity in this country for decades. And the government and the hierarchies knew this. And with that being said, when you have a black man that got that type of power, that controlled thousands upon thousands across the nation, and they moving on all accords with this man's words, that scares these hierarchies. So what they did was they made sure they buried him alive. You got to remember, Hoover got locked up in 71 for an attempt. You got to remember, back then, murders, you would come home on 12 to 15 years and shit like that. But the power that this brother had shook their ass up. It shook the government up. And they made it their business to make sure he never stepped foot out of that fucker till today. Crook County. It's not Cook County. It's Crook County. They did the dirtiest shit possible to keep this man locked up. And people be having the facts of this shit kind of twisted. They be saying this person, but man, they got one of us, old yellow back ass nigga with a crook in his spine, who could get close to the chief and talk organization business with him. They got a suck ass nigga like that to go in there knowingly and willingly to do some illegal shit and have illegal recordings in the visitors passes and talk organization business with Mr. Hoover. And then Crook County changed laws to make sure that shit stood up in court, to bury his ass out in Colorado in them underground jails right now like the fucking terrorist is. You understand what I'm saying? So for Wack them to for this kick ass shit that he doing, it's real disrespectful. But the problem is they see around the nation, they see these young boys claiming GD, but they ain't on growth and development. So it looks like we watered down. It looks like the organization is watered all the way down. So they play their hand now. You understand? So without knowing that it's still some man, it's still some real ones out here that'll jump off the cliff in a crash out for the chief. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, Wack need to take a chill pill, man. Cause for starters, if Mr. Hoover was gonna do a documentary, a docu-series, interviews, any type of thing like that, if he was gonna give it to anybody, it wouldn't be a blood nigga. It would be a nigga that was claiming growth and development, period, point blank. It wouldn't be no blood nigga with no disrespect to the Bloods. You understand? This man wrote laws, creeds, books about bettering growth and development. So why would he go give it to another organization in another city to a suck ass nigga affiliated with a trifling ass snake bitch? That man ain't nothing dumb about him. He far from dumb. This man ran a organization better than the mob, better than the armed forces, better than Bloods, better than Crips for decades from behind the wall. And they made it their business to cut the head off the snake. You understand what I'm saying? They made it their business to cut the head off the snake. And he took all the board members and eradicated them. That's why Chicago is the way it is today. Because Chicago was never the murder capital. We was never the murder capital because we had rules. We had structure. You had to get okays and permissions to go do a hit on a motherfucker, or you would get hit by your own people. So, but now they knew to take all the leaders, because for decades, generation after generation, everybody followed protocol. That's what Chicago's a gangster city. We ain't no young, dumb, eradicated ass niggas like these little fuckers out here now. That's not what Gangster Disciples was about. That's not what growth and development was about. That's not what the organization was about. So that's why you had bitch ass niggas like Wack trying to play his hand for this internet shit, when in all reality, niggas would eat his face. Real was to eat his fucking face for Jay Prince and Larry Hoover. But you have a lot of people got it messed up now. You know what I mean? But you gotta listen to what Jay Prince is saying about Wack talking police talk. You gotta remember that brother, he beat the FBI in federal court. The FBI tried to kill this man 3 or more times. The FBI tried to kill this man because he was doing some shit that they don't want brothers to do. Do people remember Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince? They was bullying into the music industry and starting their own black-owned distribution, and the federal government and the FBI shut that shit down. And you remember what Irv Gotti got done to him? The feds took everything. You remember what happened to Suge Knight? The feds took everything. Jay Prince stood tall and ain't take shit. So they'll get a suck ass nigga like Wack to throw the line out there to hope this man jump off the cliff, because they want him. When you got a brother that came from Fifth Ward, Houston, the bottom, the swamp, and now this man is a multi-billionaire owning islands and shit, running a mob. You understand? Running a mob. And he don't even raise his voice. Very respectable gentleman. I met him face to face in California. Very respectable gentleman. But carry himself so chill, you know, to honor certain shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like, man, so but you got a nigga like Wack, man. It's just it's crazy, man. But what we all need to understand is, man, we should all be pushing for Larry Hoover to be released. We should all be pushing that free Larry Hoover because this government has violated all ethics, all laws, all human rights, and everything from any perspective you can think of it on. They give fucking terrorists more respect and more leeway in that Colorado motherfucking penitentiary than they do Larry Hoover, who's a United States citizen. Think about that. We need to really think about that shit, man. Take the blinders off, people. You got niggas like Wack that'll do anything just to, get in where he fit in. And he'll sell his soul just to fit in with them other motherfuckers. You feel me? So it's like, man, I take this real serious. When I saw this situation, I had a whole different live that I was gonna do tonight. But this one right here, this hits home. This hits home, hands down. It's like, man, because I was born into this shit. My family was born into this shit, and we represented it to the fullest, with no smut on our jacket, no crooks in our spine, and we stood tall, chin up, chest out, all the way around, city to city, with respect like a motherfucker, So I take that real serious, because that's Growth and Development is an organization that try to make brothers grow and develop, not gang bang, man. So when you got these shorties out here banging and sliding and stepping and claiming shit, you got GDs throwing pitchforks and shit down now, man. What? They blinded with this shit, man. So they got it messed up, man. So it's like, man, we need to really wake up, man, and free the chief, free Larry Hoover, man. Jay Prince, much respect, much appreciation. Keep fighting for the chief. Keep fighting for the nation. Keep fighting for the organization. Stand tall, man. And Wack, sit your bitch ass down somewhere, man, before somebody really touch you, bro. You really out here just violating people on this internet to keep your name ringing. And it's like, man, you making enemies, man. You already, California don't even fuck with you, man. Your own city, your own hood don't rock with you like that. You got a few cats that you can pay, because you got a couple dollars in your money, and as long as it used to be anyway, that you would pay to jump off the cliff until they get eradicated by some real ass gangsters. Feel me? So, man, I had to speak on this one, man, because this is really what I was born and raised into. I'm not affiliated as of today. I'm not gang banging as of today. I'm not in the organization as today, but I still represent growth and development every day of my life. You feel me? And I ain't got no shame about that. So, man, I just had to touch on this, man, because this don't let them give you mixed signals about what's really going on, man. Larry Hoover would never give his rights to his vocals, his rights to his words, to no blood nigga or to no snake bitch. It'd have been a gangster nigga from his city that he knew would stand tall and make sure his family was handling that shit how they wanted to handle it, how he told them to do it. That's what it is, man. Like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, Chi-Town's finest. And my moniker is, you ain't gotta respect me, but you will not disrespect me. Holla back.